Fighting games are. I really don't know.
Fighting games
I
are
literally just woke up.
fighting games are going to Evo, I guess. Which you'd be surprised, I guess. No one would have ever guessed.
Yeah. Well, you would have think that fighting games would be dead after the controversy that went down with Evo relatively recently, but
Yeah.
apparently not.
I mean, Sony did buy Evo after it, so you know.
That is true. So it does have, someone else in charge, thank God.
Yeah.
I actually haven't heard about there being any news with Evo. What is it?
Multiversus will be shown off. It will have a. I don't know if it's gonna be a full tournament or just a trailer or whatever, but there's gonna be some stuff for Multiversus at Evo.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, that's one of the pieces of news that we've had. Um, Aside from that, it's mostly KOF 15 that we could actually talk about, because there's been updates on indie projects, but I don't think either of us really follow indie fighting game projects that are like currently being worked on. That's not like Schoolgirls.
No, I guess I should. I guess one of us should go ahead and say out loud. We are recording this only a few days after the previous fighting games are due to a schedule slip.
Yeah.
And so we are a bit lacking for stuff to talk about because, well, there's only been a few days since the last podcast.
Yeah. The KOF 15 stuff, I guess, if you want to hit that, is that Geese is finally released, and
Yeah.
apparently the matchmaking for KOF 15 doesn't work and has not worked since the game released, and hasn't been patched yet, even with the Geese patch.
Okay, explain how it doesn't work.
I don't know. People keep saying that matchmaking itself doesn't work, but nobody wants to elaborate on exactly how. So I'm assuming it may be a thing of like they might have unknown to us region locked the game, which would be a choice. Let's
Is it
spend.
not?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it not that like the MMR just doesn't work? Because I feel like that's what I saw like some of the people implying.
Maybe it could be that too. I don't know. All I know is that I constantly see people complaining that the matchmaking in KOF 15 just doesn't work, and SNK refuses to fix it, and nobody elaborates on exactly why it doesn't work. And I assume if I asked anyone, they would be like, just play the game. Like, gee, thanks. Yeah, forgive me for not wanting to support SNK right now,
Yeah, I am not terribly interested in supporting SNK right now over the whole Arabian Prince thing.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, I guess I'll open up one of these things to see if anyone chose to elaborate on exactly what's wrong. Because it would be nice if we knew. All right. So apparently, there's a chunk of the player base that cannot get into matchmaking, and that's the issue. Like there's people.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently, what the thing is that there's a part of the player base for whom the game works completely fine, 100% correctly, and there's a different part for whom it refuses to connect to opponents. That seems to be the issue.
That I can't say I've ever heard of that where it's just like, oh yeah, for a subsection of the fan base, multiplayer just doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. Like from what I'm reading out of people, because funnily enough, the first post in the post I'm reading is people asking what's exactly the problem, but the the replies to that just basically seem to summarize it to for some people it's fine, and then for like God knows how much of the player base, it refuses to connect to other people. And apparently there's nothing that ties the people together. There's no like even the player base hasn't been able to figure out exactly what causes this to happen. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Oh, okay. So
does
yes.
sound like an issue.
Yes. So apparently, for the people who the game works for, this means that they get queue times up to 2 hours, and then there's the people who it doesn't work for just at all. So yeah, that seems like a problem. Yes. Shit. Yeah, that's pretty much most of the most of the replies here. It's basically just like, I am not buying the game because it doesn't fucking work online, or I bought the game at launch and it doesn't fucking work online.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Online multiplayer is a strange and dangerous beast, and I don't understand how it works.
Yeah. Apparently it may be a PC issue.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
I don't know, because I've read people say that it's a thing on console as well. But I'm seeing more people who say that they're on like PlayStation, say that it's fine for them. So I guess it's a 50-50 whether or not it works for you if you buy it on console, and it's like 75-35, or when you buy it on PC or something. It's a 10-0 matchup.
That is funny.
Yeah,
PC
okay, no.
is a new
Apparently
development in Japan, isn't it?
PC is just as like, okay. I don't know how to take this information. It legitimately just seems to be a split of, there's people who it works for and there's people who it doesn't. Regardless. Like, there's even people who bought the game twice, and they're like, on Xbox, I couldn't find any matches, no matter how much I tried. On Steam, it's fine. So yes.
Weird.
This is our predicament. Yeah. How? Like, how does this happen? I wonder. Like, I can only really talk about like my experiences with KOF 50, which is that in the beta, I didn't have a problem finding matches, but that was in the beta. So, you know, it seems like weirdly volatile, I guess, is the best way to put it. Which, whether or not you get freaking like matches or not, because apparently, like, I've even read some people say that they had like they could find matches fine for the first like couple of days that they owned the game, and then it just stopped.
Yeah, I haven't played this game. I'm not an expert on this game, but this sounds screwed up.
Yeah, I look. I'm not blaming people who are like, I won't buy the game until it fucking works online. Because like fuck, that's that's 2/3 of KOF 15, and KOF 15 is one of the better ones about single player content too. So like, that's a pretty big part of the game to not work just at all. So yeah, oh shit. And aside from that, it's just like indie projects got updated more or less. So like, yeah, that's pretty much all of the news that I could scrounge up or whatever. Just get together.
That could occur in the space of about 5 days. Yes.
Yeah, which is it's still kind of fucked the thing with KOF 15 regardless. But then
Yeah.
again, I suppose that's not a development of 5 days, but still.
No. Uh Either which way, have you put any time in with fighting games in the last 5 days? Because I sure as shit have not.
No, I don't think so. Unless once again we go with the like the marketplace definition of fighting games.
Ha!
In which case, I have played many fighting
Even with
games.
that, I'm not sure. Even with that, I'm not sure I put in any time.
But yeah, I guess if you want, we can go into like a generalized topic to make it so this podcast is not like fucking 10 minutes long.
Well, I don't think we should artificially extend it too much, but yes, we should have something else to talk about. So, is there just like generally a fighting game topic to throw up?
Well,
For
there's
what it's
all
worth, I'm
yeah.
also in favor of a shorter podcast today because I am going to shit myself. But
I mean, we can always just take a break. The viewers won't notice.
that is true. Let's go ahead and take a break.
All right, give me one sec. And we're back. So,
Oh, the fighting games still are.
yes, for now. So while we were on break, I did look at a couple of topics to ensure that we can have some discussion.
Yeah.
And first, I guess let's start with the one that's most topical right now, which is Multiversus got a trailer, and I guess what we expect out of it, which I know Soon expects a lot. Like he's not here, but Soon expects a
Soon
lot.
expects it to be. Soon expects it to be. So I think no matter what, he's going to be satisfied.
He expects it to be what? Because that's the one word that got cut off.
Soon expects it to be stupid, so I think he's going to be satisfied.
Yeah. I don't think I don't know if I don't know if he'll be satisfied with the gameplay mechanics though, because he's ever since PlayStation All Stars, he's been looking for PlayStation All Stars, and everybody goes after Smash and not PlayStation All Stars. So
Well, I don't know exactly like what his views are on that because the only mechanical difference I can really think of that's really strong between All Stars and Smash is All Stars had. Correct me if I'm wrong. Characters couldn't die in All Stars unless you hit them with a super, right?
Yes, and from what I remember, I don't know if you were there when he talked about it, but he pointed that out as like the thing that he liked. So.
Oh, that's such a weird choice.
Yeah.
Well, in that regard, he has to know that he's never going to get that again because that is the number one thing people shit on All Stars for.
Yeah.
He'll be. Soon's not, relatively speaking, that picky of a guy in that regard, especially because the main point of the game for him is that he thinks it will be funny and stupid to play as Shaggy and fight Arya from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and I mean to be fair, like even with the trailer, they did some good pulls. Like I could see Taz and Harley, like being a couple. Not I don't mean that way. I mean like partners in a tech team. A tech team.
I've actually not watched the trailer. I've only seen like that thumbnail for it, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, Batman carrying Shaggy.
Yes, So they show off a couple of characters, and they show off a couple of teams really, and it's like Batman teams up with Shaggy. Well, or rather, I suppose Batman and Shaggy are the first two who get teleported to whoever that it is that Multiversus takes place, and they don't trust each other, but then they get attacked by Arya and Bugs, who are of course the greatest tag team ever.
Okay, so Batman and Shaggy together as a team. Batman is the master of fear. Shaggy is the master of being afraid.
Yes,
Let's see.
and Shaggy
Bugs
also
and Arya.
Shaggy also just has Ultra Instinct now. That's canon to Scooby-Doo.
Okay, that makes sense. Sure. Bugs and Arya are both master tricksters, I suppose.
I wouldn't know about Arya, but yeah, sure.
It
yeah,
counts as tricks that she can. When she kills people, she can cut off their face and wear it, and that somehow makes her look like all of them.
Yeah, probably. What else? The other teams. I'm trying to think of everyone, but it kind of blends together. But one team was Tez and Harley.
Well, they're both crazy, I guess.
Yeah. And like Harley immediately just sees Tez and she decides that he's his pet, or he is her pet now.
He does look like a hyena.
Yeah. And Tez of course falls in love immediately because it's Tez. I really fucking hope that for no reason in particular, Tez just does a Tezplex on a Tez mission in that game.
See, that's something they could actually, some wrestling fan on the dev team could sneak in. Not the Taz mission, because I can't see Taz ever stopping. Like, Taz's fighting style is a bit too manic and crazy to ever put in a sleeper hold.
I mean, I figure his version of what Taz mission would be like fucking spinning while choking a guy, you know?
That may be a little too visceral for a kid's game.
Yeah, it's true.
But there was, in Smash Brothers, Snake's, one of Snake's grapples, I think, pretty well is a sleeper suplex, where he drops them on their head. So there's a bit of precedent for that in Smash already.
So yeah, we need Tezplex for Tez. He won't be complete. But yeah, and I forget who attacks them. Oh yeah, it's Steven. It's one of the gems from Steven Universe. I wouldn't know which one. And Jake from Adventure Time.
I know less than nothing about Steven Universe, so I can't comment.
I saw an episode of Steven Universe and have yet to understand why it has fans. So you know.
It's very LGBT friendly, so I imagine it appeals more to adults than it does to kids.
I mean, technically, I was adults by the time it aired, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, but like, I don't know that's necessarily the rest of it representation you're looking for.
Yeah. But yeah, so they have those people, and then I feel like I remembered like another team being there, aside from the final one, but I guess not. So the final team they revealed is Superman and the Iron Giant. I think his name is.
Oh, that's the one they had to do. They had to do Superman and Iron Giant, didn't they?
Yeah, and the Iron Giant has a Superman symbol.
So Iron Giant finally gets to be Superman like he always wanted. That's cute. I really like that.
So yeah, that the trailer was fine. Like it showed off stuff. I really liked how and it is just pointed out, Bugs doesn't have his modern design. Bugs is using his like old, like you know the design he had between the yellow gloves and the modern design. He was still kind of chubby, but is that too deep?
Yeah, that's too deep of a cut for me, bro.
I see.
Yeah, there's pretty well only two Looney Tunes I've been invested in, which is the original cartoons from like the 40s and the Seinfeld-esque one they made like 10 years ago. Other than that, not been super into Looney Tunes.
Yeah, the stuff I'm talking about is from the original stuff from the 40s. Like that's the only Looney Tunes I was invested in. But yeah,
the only thing I know about Multiversus bugs is does he not have a taunt where he turns into Big Chungus?
I don't know about that. Maybe he could. I haven't
I
seen
think he
gameplay yet.
does.
But yeah, there were three designs to bugs that I remember there being. There was one where he was kind of chubby and he looked kind of like greasy. Is the best way I can put it. The way he was drawn was greasy, and he had yellow gloves. Then or like this yellowish orangish gloves. After that, he was pretty much the same but with white gloves, and then he got slimmed down to the design that's users are based nowadays.
Yeah.
And so they're using the in between design where he was still kind of chubby, but he didn't have the yellow gloves.
Yeah.
And then they're using that as a thing for the model, which is weird, like it looks close enough to the modern design that you have to fucking look at it real hard to recognize that, but like still, it's kind of a weird cut.
I do like that they are just picking whatever design they like best rather than going with the most recent.
Yeah, that is
Because
true.
that was one of the biggest problems with All Stars was that All Stars was going with the more, with the most recent designs for each character.
Dante and Virgin. Was Virgin even in that
which
game?
led to Dante. I'm sorry, what?
Was Virgin even in that game?
No. There's another character besides Dante that got like a late version design where he really should have got a better design. I'm trying to remember who though.
Maybe the guy from Twisted Metal whose name escapes me, the clown.
Needles' design doesn't really matter. He's in the truck most of the time. The only real thing that changes with Needles' design is whether he's wearing shorts or pants, and I don't think anyone's super picky over that. Well, there's an understandable reason to not want him to see him wearing shorts because he's usually a quite overweight gentleman. But other than that, and I don't think anybody was really wanting Metal Gear Solid 2 Raiden over Revengeance Raiden for obvious reason.
Yeah. Wasn't it something about Cole?
Cole only really ever had two designs. He had the biker jacket from Infamous 1, and then he had the t-shirt from Infamous 2. And again, I don't think that's like really that big of a deal.
I remember
it's really the same design, honestly.
I remember there being something about it may have been the guy from Infamous or the guy from Prototype where they had like a normal and an evil version that played the same.
Oh, yes, Cole had both his good and evil versions, which did not play the same because it changed the properties of some of his moves, and I think it may have changed some other moves altogether, because in the Infamous games, there are moves that are locked to good and moves that are locked to evil.
I'm trying to think of who even was in that game to have like bad designs. I remember that like Fat Princess was in there.
Yeah, she was a real odd pick. Kratos and Zeus both.
But I mean, like they Kratos didn't change designs really for the first 3 games.
No, he definitely did not, and they did not include Norse Kratos in that lot there.
Well, they couldn't
because he didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
If they did in All Stars 2, it would be really fun if Kratos and Atreus were a character together, and they're like All Stars is ice climbers, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, and have them like how ice climbers can do that stupid chain grab bullshit. Though I think nowadays they eventually get stopped. Thankfully, there's a bit of combo cooldown there. It would be really cool if Kratos and Atreus' grab was that bit they do to Baldur near the very end of the fight, where Kratos hits them, then Atreus comes up and kicks him in the face, then Kratos punches him again, and that was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
The last Baldur fight is not as crazy as the first Baldur fight, but damn, they did a good job of making Atreus feel like he really matters in that fight,
Yeah.
By the end of God War 4, you almost kind of feel like Atreus is getting to be better than Kratos.
Yeah. Who the hell else was in that game? Sly Cooper was in that, but Sly Cooper has one design.
Yeah, even for Sly Cooper 4, controversial as it was, he still mostly had the same design.
They had Parappa, but Parappa 2 has two designs, and the only thing that changes is, I think, the color of his hat. So
Parappa's not got a game in 20 fucking years.
yeah. I mean, apparently, as far as Sony is concerned, Sly Cooper doesn't exist and never did. So
yeah, that one's pretty brutal. It's like, oh god, yeah. There's just so many Sony icons that have been left behind.
yeah,
and I know it's part of the changing times, but I mean that classic. That classic picture taking the regular show cast, right? And labeling all of them the classic Sony franchises. And Ratchet's the only one left. That is really sad.
I was going to say Metal Gear still around. No, it's not.
No, it is not. And it's not a Sony franchise anymore either.
Well, that's true.
Like, even for, like, when we think about the adult Sony franchises, Tomb Raider, again, still going, but no longer a Sony franchise. And honestly, Tomb Raider is kind of on life support at the current moment.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Yeah, they're all gone except Ratchet. Fucking Ape Escape ain't had a sequel in a decade.
I can't even remember what big Sony things were there were. Like, I guess Final Fantasy VII, but Final Fantasy VII is no longer Sony exclusive either.
No. I guess you could count I'd count God of War as a classic Sony franchise, and it's still going, but
I mean, if
who knows where it's gonna go after 5?
Yeah, and I mean, like, if we count classic as like 15 years plus, then yeah, God of War probably counts.
Uncharted is probably done now.
Uncharted is definitely done. Like, the latest Uncharted game is a compilation of all 4 games released again. I don't know if you saw that, but it's just Uncharted 1 through 4, and then Force DLC that got released as a standalone game as well, and that's it. But yeah, that's the.
If you kind of
Yeah.
You can kind of see why Sony's doubling down on getting some Marvel comic stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Last of Us. That's a series that's technically still going, but, like, for how long?
Yeah.
How many protagonists
can you? Thoroughly story based. If it's so thoroughly story based, they can only keep it going for so long.
Now just kill the last protagonist at the start of every new game. The cycle of vengeance never ends. But yeah. Heihachi was in PlayStation All Stars, but I think they used his samurai design from like Tekken 3. No?
They used young Heihachi.
Oh.
Because Tag Tournament 2 had just came out.
Right. I guess you found the other one.
Furthermore, old Heihachi's voice actor in Japan had died.
Oh, yeah.
And in Japan, they have a thing about if a voice actor dies, do not immediately use the character. Give it like 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is part of why Tekken 7 took so long.
So, yeah. I guess we found the other one with the bad design. But yeah. What was I going to say? So yeah, Multiversus seems interesting so far, but like I guess we could segue this into, who we think should be added or could be added to Multiversus.
Yeah. Well, I know he's a character who perhaps gets a bit too much love nowadays, but of course I'd like to see Joker in.
Yeah, but which one? You know,
I'm the
no,
Joker,
no.
baby.
Call it. Make the character called the Jokers, and it's just all of the Jokers in like a fucking like it's a thing where you have like you have the classic comics Joker as the main one, and then he uses all of the other Jokers as Noob Saibot clones.
Oh my god. Oh, you know what? Yeah, Scorpion should probably be pretty high up on the list. Scorpion and Sub-Zero should be pretty high up on the list to get in.
Yeah.
I'd love for them to throw Johnny in too, just for a laugh.
I mean, if it's on Ed Boon, no, if it's on Ed Boon, we'll get Scorpion. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know who we need to count on to get Johnny. Tobias, maybe.
Oh, there's no way we could get Johnny because you can't have Johnny without the nut shot, and they're probably not going to allow characters to nut shot each other in a kid's game.
Oh yeah, true.
Well, the thing is, there's lots of characters we're not even going to think of because they're just one-off movies Warner Brothers released, like like Iron Giant, you know?
Yeah. I look forward I look forward to playing as Talion.
Nah.
And his gimmick is that when you eliminate him, Cerebrim Board just teleports him back up once every match, once every life.
Huh.
I gave myself that idea, but it's I really want to see that happen now. I want just all of the Jokers that Warner Bros. Can license out to just be made into one character where he uses them as clones. Like fucking, you know, like instead of a blocking animation, he just pulls out the fucking Jared Leto Joker and stuff like that.
I would do nothing but block.
Yeah.
Obviously, from Game of Thrones, there's all the picks in the world.
Yeah,
Jaime would be fun, as long as his win pose isn't fucking Cersei. There'd be too many Game of Thrones characters who would be expected to get their dick out, I think.
Yeah, probably. Oh, But the thing is, like, I don't even really know what IPs of Warner Bros. Owns anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's Mortal Kombat and DC, and then other stuff. Could they get Malcolm's Dead?
What?
From Malcolm in the Middle.
I don't know. Let me look that up.
Heisenberg.
I'm looking up who owns Malcolm in the Middle.
But I'm not talking about actual Malcolm in the Middle, the actual Malcolm in the Middle character. I'm talking about Heisenberg. I just always think of him. Oh. I just also always think of him as Malcolm's dad because the same actor.
Malcolm in the Middle was from Fox, which means that it is now a Disney thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look up Breaking Bad then. Breaking Bad was Sony.
Ah, okay, so that's a no.
Who knows, though? Walt might get into Sony All-Stars.
Yeah. That would be... Okay, that would be wild. Imagine if that's why Multiversus is at Evo. They're gonna be like, hey, this is the PlayStation All-Stars 2.
Yeah. We didn't reveal half the fucking roster.
Yeah.
Which, even though we're calling it PlayStation All-Stars 2, here's Walter White, who's never been in a PlayStation game.
Yeah. Netflix is my favorite PlayStation game. I don't know what you're on about.
And I have to imagine if you ever put Walter White in a fighting game, not only would it be fun because there is actually a surprising amount of stuff Walter could probably do, but I'm just imagining Walter's dodge roll animation is just him falling over. Because part of the great thing about Breaking Bad is Walter White sometimes is really badass, and sometimes he just falls flat on his ass trying to do something cool. Because guess what? He's a middle-aged white dude with cancer who spent most of his life working in a classroom. Why would he know how to handle himself in a gunfight?
Yeah. I never watched Breaking Bad.
All the times that Walt successfully, badassfully kills someone, it's usually because Walt had the drop on him.
You know, I never watched Breaking Bad, so I don't know if he actually does drugs. But it would be funny if instead of a fucking instead of the normal drink meter, he just got a crystal meth meter.
No, he doesn't take the drugs. He gets everyone else in the match high, and it makes them worse.
Yeah, it gives them a debuff, makes them take more damage. Yeah. That could be an interesting gimmick that they could do. That he buffs he simultaneously buffs and debuffs the enemies, so they deal more damage but take more as well because of math.
Yeah. But now I'm just imagining like he gets Bugs Bunny high, and Bugs Bunny's like, I need to get these bugs out of my teeth.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh my god, could you imagine the controversy of this game allows you to make fucking Mickey Mouse or whoever do meth?
You try to do the drugs move on Shaggy, and it has no effect.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have a lot of issues with Grand Theft Auto 5, but that is the single best joke in the entirety of Grand Theft Auto 5. That you play the mission as Michael where he smokes the blunt and it causes him to see aliens everywhere. Then you do it against Trevor and he sees like whatever, Santa Claus everywhere. And they both have these like crazy bombastic missions where they have to fight hordes of enemies while they're tripping out like mad. And then finally, once you beat the game, the mission unlocks for Franklin. Franklin goes, smokes a blunt, just looks around. Man, that was some weak shit. What, you don't see any aliens or anything? No, that was weak shit, man. And he just leaves. That's the mission.
Nice. Yeah, there's things they could do with that stuff. What else does Warner Brothers own?
Oh boy, that's a rather nebulous set of things there.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Let's see. I hope that recording won't fucking tank completely. All right. I just wrote in list of Warner Brothers IPs.
Huh?
Sure, franchises, that works too. Just overall, give me it all. All right, let's see. We need to narrow this down, but the categories themselves are pretty good things to go by. So they own Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, DC Comics, Hanna-Barbera, United Cinema, Turner, Hulk fucking Hogan.
What? Oh. Okay, so they gotta give us someone off Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Give us the entire trio of Aqua Teen Hunger Force as one character, and Carl as another character.
Sure,
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I've never seen it, so I can't comment whether that could work or not.
Watch. They've got most of the really good bits on YouTube now. Adult Swim puts them up directly.
All right.
Watch them.
All right. But yeah, for Cartoon Network, I mean, there's a good couple they could pull from. Fucking Samurai Jack. He's your EIDO He's your EIDO character. Johnny Bravo. I don't even know what to call him. He's like a grab, like he's a bruiser who has grabs in my mind.
Okay, Samurai Jack, but also the Scotsman.
Yes.
And the Scotsman's super is that he turns into a ghost, and the army of his daughters flood the map.
Yes. But otherwise, he plays like fucking Fox from Smash.
You would not believe the speed at which this fat man can move.
Yeah, he's the only one who is capable of wave dashing. So yeah, what other franchises were there that could really just like work with this shit? Because like I could say Dexter's, but like because you know he had a Big Mac, but I don't know. That feels like a bit of a like pull.
Dexter and Dee Dee together as a character. Every single move is Dexter trying to do an experiment and Dee Dee actually blowing it up.
Yeah, but I feel like they're already doing that gimmick with Tom and Jerry. Oh yeah, that I forgot them. Who's their teammate? Shit, I don't remember who got settled with Tom and Jerry.
Who else has an abusive relationship?
Well, it depends on the rider, I guess.
Huh?
Batman could fit.
Huh?
I feel like it's other cartoon character, but I don't remember who.
Well, you know, an abusive relationship is good for the kids.
Yeah.
Don't isolate that.
Well, let's see. For Hanna-Barbera, of course, there's always all of the Scooby clones.
Yeah.
That should be just one character, the League of Scooby Clones. And like
it's them all coming together as a union to finally retrieve all the Scooby snacks.
Yeah, it works like
fucking Infinity Stones.
The character works like double, where each frame of animation is a different character.
Oh Jesus! That wouldn't confuse people at all.
Yeah.
Like, Double's kind of allowed to be as freakish as she is because she's in a game where people study frame data intimately anyways. But, like, fuck.
Alright, let's see. So Turner apparently doesn't actually own all that much. It's mainly Westworld, Wizard of Oz, and Tom and Jerry.
If Vince had not bought it, Turner would own W, which that would lead to a lot of funny picks.
Yeah, that's why I said Hulk Hogan immediately. Like you know that the first thing they would have done if Turner still owned WCW would be to have fucking Hulk Hogan body slamming like fucking Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, dropping the. You know that a great down special when you're in the air would be the leg drop.
Yes.
Oh yeah, brother.
All right, let's see for
cartoon. Super, yeah. Since it's Hollywood Hogan we're talking about, his super would have to be he calls in all the other NWO losers.
Yeah.
Okay, this would actually be really cool. He calls in 2 random NWO members. And you could get really cool ones like Macho Man, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, the Great Muta. Or you could get really lame ones like Scott Norton, Buff Bagwell, Vincent.
Yeah.
Maybe Buff Bagwell's not that bad. I've never seen his stuff, but I know some people are a mark for him.
I've seen his stuff and I wasn't particularly impressed. But yeah, I feel like if they did that, like it should be a thing where they call in the people and they do one assist move, and Nash's assist move is the finger poke of doom.
Yeah, the trouble with Nash is that his thing, besides the power bomb, was the big boot, and then you'd have Hogan and Nash both doing the big boot, which would be kind of lame.
Yeah. All right, so for Cartoon Network stuff, the notable ones, I suppose, are.
Oh my God, Billy and Mandy as a duo would be awesome.
Yes, Billy and Mandy with the Reaper as a trio.
Hang on, for most of the match, they're Billy and Mandy, but their super is they go Super Saiyan, but instead of it being Super Saiyan, they just summon Grimm to become a trio.
I don't know. I feel like that would work the other way around, where it's Grimm and Billy working together, and then if they get low health, Mandy joins.
Yeah.
Because if you remember,
I guess
everyone
to
was
be
afraid of
fair,
Mandy.
like, I guess to be fair, like Lord of the Rings, they didn't make it where it's like Aragorn or Frodo or whoever, and they summon Gandalf. It's just, no, you just get Gandalf.
Yeah. We have Captain Planet. He's a
Captain
hero.
Planet is already in the game, I believe.
Ah. Yeah, that makes sense. His Next Door could work, but that's another one of those amalgam characters where they would need to be like a team. And, you know, there may be too many even in just those suggestions for those.
Well, with Kid Next Door, I think like the most appropriate way to do it would be just pick two of them. I guess number 1 and number 5, who would be the most appropriate as independent characters. But you don't want Kid Next Door taking up all the roster.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a cartoon that honestly most people aside from you and me don't remember.
Courage the Cowardly Dog could work.
Courage would be awesome.
Yeah, Courage would be awesome. I would main Courage. Like, courage is a big part of why I am who I am. Funnily enough.
Okay. Courage gets a grab super, right?
Yeah. It's a Shagokusatsu.
But instead, it's a grab super, but it's exactly like the fucking Phoenix Wright bring you before the judge super. Except instead of the judge, it's Eustace.
Yeah.
And you just hear a deep droning voice. Stupid dog, you made me look bad. And he brings down the hammer.
Yeah.
That's it, I'm getting me mallet. I always loved it. Like, apparently Eustace just has a giant cartoon mallet prepared for these situations.
Yeah, why not? It always comes in handy. Always have a mallet, a knife, and a screwdriver on you. You'll need it.
Yeah. And have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Yeah.
I love that quote, because it's unclear whether you're saying have a plan for each person that you meet to kill them, or have a plan to kill everyone in the room at any given moment.
Yeah. Ed and Eddie, I think, could work with their dumb stuff, but that's another one of those amalgam characters.
Yeah. Well, with cartoons, there's so many amalgam characters, because cartoons usually focus on short cast of characters that work together.
Yeah. You could add any of the Powerpuff Girls or single characters, and they would work.
That is true. Powerpuff Girls are honestly one where I'd say nobody would mind if they added all 3 of them as individual characters.
Yes.
And maybe throw in Mojo Jojo just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Alright, here's a pool that no one will agree with. And it legitimately cannot be done for licensing purposes, I'm pretty sure. I would not mind if Hi Puffy and Miyumi got a representation. I don't know how it could work. If the power of music, probably, but yeah.
Well, I feel like every Smash Brothers game needs to have one musical character.
Yeah, and they could work for that, either of them, really. I feel like for that one, it would, like, technically it would be an amalgam character, but I feel like it would be a stand switcher, where, like, you switch between the 2 girls, and they do different kinds of music.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Or I suppose, like, similar music, but with different tones. Bless you. And then let's see what else could really work in this list. What
was the cartoon that followed a bunch of gerbils?
A bunch of what?
A bunch of hamsters.
I don't remember that one.
It was Japanese, and the gimmick was just simply...
Oh, Hamtaro! Hamtaro.
Yes, there we go.
You just had to tell me it was Japanese. Yeah, I don't think they could use Hamtaro because I think that's a Fuji TV IP.
Yeah, he's probably licensed out properly to the actual Japanese company that made him. But God, could you imagine, not even an amalgam character, it's just a hamster, and he's actually hamster-sized.
I mean, look, Hamtaro Shoot has a moveset, because Hamtaro has games.
Oh my god.
Hamtaro had video games that were these puzzle exploration games for the GB. Just any of them really. Like two of them was for the Game Boy and one of them was for the Game Boy Color, I think. Where you went around learning hamster language. And hamster language triggered different like moves out of Hamtaro to do, and that's how you solve the puzzles. So like, you know, there could be stuff like his side special could be just rolling, which was one of them. Okay, and the move list could just be the hamster language. So like fucking like one of his up special is waving, and that's called ham ha. And then his roll is I think that one was just called like ham roll or something like that. The rolling, just fucking call that or do that. His down special is pissing on the opponent called go p. G-O-P. That's how it was spelled out.
Everyone would pick the character just so they could pee on their opponents.
Yes. Hamtaro deserves to be the toppest tier.
Okay, I have to ask. Multiversus is going to be down with the kids enough that Shaggy can access Ultra Instinct. And down with the kids enough, I believe that one of Bugs' taunts is Big Chungus. Which character on the current cast do you think is probably going to have the ability to dab?
Harley. That feels like a very Harley move to me.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like, out of all of the, it's either gonna be Harley or someone who it really doesn't fit. So like the Iron Giant. That's his main pose.
Oh, they know not to do that with the Iron Giant. I think Iron Giant, is their wholesome pick.
Maybe. But yeah, out of the ones I remember,
imagine Batman doing it.
Who? Oh, Batman. I mean,
I said, imagine Batman.
Have you seen that new cartoon that they're doing with him? Or
no.
There's this new Justice League cartoon, and they released a promo shot, and everyone looks bad aside from Harley. But the thing with Batman is that Batman doesn't actually look bad. But Batman was Batman's like default emotion is smiling. It is the scariest he's been, like ever.
Honestly, I don't think Batman smiles enough in modern adaptations.
I don't mind Batman smiling, but like it's like, you know, it's chubby Illumination Batman smiling, and that is kind of bad. Like, you know, Batman cracking a smile I'm fine with. Fucking chubby Illumination Batman doing a Joker smile is a bit weird to look at. Like, you know, it's not just the fact that he's smiling, it's the way he's doing it is bad.
Yeah, I can't quite imagine, but
let me see if I can. Like, I don't even know what to fucking look for though, because I don't remember the name. I'm just looking up Justice League new cartoon. What is it? Yes, Injustice. Yes, that is exactly what I'm looking at. What I'm looking for. It cannot be Injustice. I refuse to believe that whatever the fuck I saw was Injustice. It's not that either.
There's no way they'd ask Illumination to make an Injustice adaptation, but I'm certain they have been working on Injustice cartoon movies lately.
Yeah, which, you know, that's fine. That's whatever. No, this is the old cartoon. This is the one I wait. Is this the one I remember? It's not the one I remember, but it's also not the one I'm looking for. That one had Afro, like that one had fucking Cyborg with a health fro. he had an Afro on the parts of him that were human, but it looked weird because, you know, he's also a robot.
Yeah.
Can I find the thing? No. Oh, okay. It wasn't an actual Justice League cartoon. It's the League of Super Pets. That's the one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw about that just the other day. with The Rock as Crypto and Kevin Hart as Ace.
All right, I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna put it into pictures. And
like, don't get me wrong, I want to see more of a return to the goofy stuff of DC Comics. I want to see more of a return to the charming stuff of DC Comics. I want to see more of a return to the brave and the bold aspects of DC Comics.
yeah.
But do The Rock and Kevin Hart have to be a comedy duo in every fucking movie now?
Yes. Okay, I found the exact
Okay.
picture. I found the exact picture that I'm looking for. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna post it.
That Batman's okay. That Batman.
There you go. There you go. Look at that picture.
The problem is not him smiling. The problem is that for whatever reason they thought, okay, let's have him have super long bat ears, and let's also give him the Tim Burton the bat suit design with no fucking neck. So yeah, from the neck up, he looks fat.
The bat neck has not been invented yet. I don't know what you're on about.
And like, I guess that's just the Illumination thing. Well, part of
I don't think it's. I don't think it's actually Illumination doing this because I think they would ask for more money, but it's that style.
Yeah, but when you look at Superman, like Superman's neck is also really thick, but he has a jawline. Batman doesn't.
Yeah, because they're overrated.
Cyborg with an afro is weird.
Batman stands up for the poor and jawless.
Yeah. Cyborg doesn't like. I say this all the time. Cyborg's a Titan, not a Justice League member.
Yeah. And also, like, this is my bias, but could we just like use the design that was made for the cartoon? Like, could we just elaborate on that design instead of using like instead of fucking tarnishing the classic design?
Yeah.
Because like I by default like the cartoon design better for him, but also I'm kind of tired of the classic design being tarnished too. Regardless.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then, like the only people who look fine in that thing, to me, is Superman and Flash. Like
I think that.
Yeah.
I think Flash's face looks kind of weird.
Oh, I don't see his face. Give me 1 second. What is his face like?
I don't know what's up with that Green Lantern, because it looks less like she's wearing a mask and more like she just smeared green paint over her eyes. And that suit design is troublesome, but in terms of like anatomy, Wonder Woman and Green Lantern are definitely the best looking out of the group.
I don't know. I feel like Wonder Woman has too much legs. Or the others don't have enough. I don't know.
It's Wonder Woman.
That's true.
Oh my god, I just noticed Aquaman has frog feet.
He does! He does!
What the fuck?
Why not?
What the fuck?
Why not?
This has nothing to do with fighting games, but fuck it. Anything for an extra hour of content.
I mean, technically we're tangentially related to fighting games still because we're talking about multiverses, which will feature two out of these like 8 characters. So you know.
3. Both Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are in the game.
Okay, Wonder. Oh, maybe that's. No, I don't remember.
I have these designs.
that's a bad thought that occurred to me, that maybe Wonder Woman was the teammate to Tom and Jerry. Woof. But yeah, anyway. So
to
yeah.
be fair, Wonder Woman is generally torn between peace and violence, much the same way Tom and Jerry are.
That is true. And she's also into BDSM just like them. But yeah, also Aquaman's hair. Like,
yeah.
Just give him the long hair then. Just make it look like he has large Glake hair. It's fine.
Someone was sitting in that design art studio thinking, you know, the notoriously bad Tyson Kidd hairdo when Tyson Kidd debuted. I really want that, but I need to make it worse. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna combine it with a mullet.
I feel like aside from Green Lantern and like I guess this really is only specific to two characters, but it feels like the only like they looked at all the list of characters that they were given, and they went, well, I can't ruin Superman or Wonder Woman because they're iconic, and Green Lantern looks fine. Like her hair is designed fine. So I'm just gonna fuck up Cyborg and Aquaman because nobody cares about them.
Cyborg looks like Buzz fucking Lightyear.
Yeah. Kind of.
He looks like a space marine.
maybe that's gonna be one of the side plots of Super Pets. Cyborg has been serving the rule of mankind all along.
Yeah. The Imperium is looking to invade alternate universes now. Oh god.
Yeah. And then Flash, you're right. His face is weird. It's not even that his face is weird. His head is too large for his body. It feels to me like like Flash in this picture looks like his proportions are that of an ice cream cone.
And I'm not a fan of Flash's, like the yellow on Flash's boots not being actually separated from the red of the rest of his suit, but just kind of fading in. I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I like it better when it's separated, but I can live with it.
Yeah, it's definitely not the most offensive thing on this picture here.
Yeah, that's still Batman without an X smiling, or the half pro.
That Batman design is like, if you look below the neck, it's not a bad Batman design, but if you look at the neck and above, it's brutal.
Oh shit! So yeah, this is a thing that
like the only one out of these designs that would unambiguously, like even with Superman, I don't like how big the neck is. The only one out of these designs I would unambiguously say I like is Wonder Woman. And even then, I'm not big on Wonder Woman with a choker.
I don't know.
I guess that's enough of shit.
Yeah, similarly, my only problem with Wonder Woman is that either because of the way these characters were designed. I don't know why, but she looks like her legs are too long. But that may just be a Wonder Woman thing. I don't know anymore. So yeah, going back to multiverses explicitly, there was something else. I saw another series. Oh, apparently Transformers. I mean, I don't think that's their IP, but it's listed here. So maybe.
Well, have you seen gameplay of the Iron Giant yet? Because I haven't.
Nope.
Because how do they handle giant characters, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The other one I wanted to say is that if the Iron Giant works, one of the DLCs should be Megas XLR.
Yeah. Soon keeps calling for Godzilla, which I'm not sure he's not going to be disappointed on that one.
Yeah.
But if they can make Iron Giant not be everyone else's size and actually be a properly big character in a platform fighter, then yeah, I'd say the next natural conclusion from that is throw in Optimus Prime, right?
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm sure they've revealed already, but Rick and Morty is the thing that they
yes. Yes, Rick is on the roster. He's on the launch roster.
All right. Really, what we really need is 12-ounce mouse. I've seen like maybe an episode of that show, and if I remember correctly, the art style was it existed.
I don't believe you.
What do you mean Johnny Quest is a Hanna-Barbera franchise? I don't believe that.
Space Ghost is too.
But yeah, but Space Ghost is like is an old cartoon repurposed, wasn't it? So like that makes more sense. Johnny Quest was a fucking new thing. It came out when I was young. Hanna-Barbera was dead for like 20 years by then.
I don't know how new it was, because Venture Bros is largely a parody of Johnny Quest, is it not?
I don't know.
And you are saying Johnny Quest and not Johnny Test, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm mixing them up. You're right.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Johnny Quest was a cartoon from like the 70s, unless you're a lot older than I think.
Well, anyway, the Jetsons.
Oh my god! So if they got the Space Ghost guys, they gotta have what's their names? The mustache dude and the bug thing. What are they called?
I never saw Space Ghost, so.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look up their names, but they gotta have those guys as like the announcers and the guys who handle the menu and shit like that, right?
Yeah. All right, they should add Dick Dastardly. I don't know what he'd do. Like he'd be another one of those joke characters, I guess, where he gets beaten up and that's his moves. But Dick Dastardly would be like a reverse trap character where he sets traps, but he needs to trigger them to activate, I guess.
Yeah.
But
and Zorak. There we go.
But I just really want Dick Dastardly.
Yeah, Dick Dastardly. The trouble with Dick Dastardly is that Dick Dastardly is designed as a character who can't win if he does stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when you look back at Wacky Races, if Dick Dastardly had not stopped to cheat, he would have won every race. Because he was the fastest. He was always in the lead. He just stopped to cheat.
I want it to be a thing where, like, if you win as Dick Dastardly, then you get the win animation for one of the other racers from Wacky Races.
Yeah.
I
didn't even know that guy was there. I didn't see him all match.
Yeah. And then they do a slow-mo replay of the winning move, and they replace Dick Dastardly's model with their model.
Yeah.
That may be too much to implement.
Now this is just making me want like a Disney fighting game where Mike Wazowski's win pose is for the text to cover him up.
Yeah. And then I guess if they can't do Ed and Eddie because too many amalgam characters, other one that could work, I suppose, similarly is Top Cat. I wouldn't mind Top Cat.
I do not know what that is.
Top Cat was earlier Ed and Eddie and like verse executed overall. But basically it was a stray cat in a top hat and a vest who would always like from what I remember of seeing it, he'd always like make these schemes to get money for this or that and buying like fish or whatever, I forget. And he also had a supporting cast of like 12 or so other cats, that some of which were strays, or most of them were strays, something like that. That would help him and then fail doing that. And he also had his foil in like their local policeman, like Yogi Bear did in the Ranger. So like if they can do Ed and Eddie because too many characters, then they could do Top Cat and just have Top Cat do a similar gimmick to them.
Yeah.
And then let's see. It is DC Comics franchises, 5 million pages.
Yeah. Metalocalypse, right?
Yeah, they could do that too. Yeah.
For Adult Swim alone, there'd be a ton of stuff.
Apparently Adult Swim doesn't actually own a lot of IPs.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, like I'm checking out what they own, and it's like Giant Mouse, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There's something just called like China.
They own the entire country of China.
Oh, China, Illinois, I think.
Oh,
So yeah, Harvey Birdman, Metalocalypse, Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, Samurai Jack, Space Ghost, Squidbillies, so something like Super Jail, and Adventure Bros. Those are all the IPs that Adult Swim owns, apparently.
Venture Bros is definitely one they could do some stuff with. I'm kind of surprised that they don't own the that new Smiling Friends thing either.
Yeah, that's I actually know of one of the guys who made it. Zach's been around a bit. Psychic Pebbles.
Right. He's a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
He did stuff with 2 channels that I watch before doing that stuff.
Was he not like a Game Grumps fan animator 10 years ago?
Maybe that too. He could have been that too. He also did a couple of videos working with JonTron, and then he's also one of the recurring hosts of Only Plays now.
Huh.
So yeah, dude's busy. That's why he's not working on like serious stuff, I guess. And then let's see.
Good to keep yourself busy, though.
Yeah.
I like that.
Ooh, Blade. Warner Bros. owns Blade.
Blade is not.
I mean,
Blade is not. Blade is a fucking Disney property. He's Marvel.
Yeah, true. Do they own Austin Powers?
Do they have Austin Powers? Is that what you asked?
I'm asking if they would own Austin Powers, because they apparently have the movie rights, or had the movie rights.
Well, I don't know about all the rights, but if they have Austin Powers, I gotta admit, like, I'm probably gonna end up trying Multiversus when it comes out just for laughs. Yeah. If they added Austin Powers as a character, I would 100% main Austin Powers.
Yeah. Let's see. Little Nicky. That one just because it's stinky.
Ideally, I'd hope that it would lead to them adding Al Pacino.
Maybe. They could have The Mask. That could actually work.
That would work super well. And the funny thing is that, like, they don't need to worry about Jim Carrey, because it's like, fuck it, just do the comic version of The Mask.
Yeah, just use a cartoon version of the Mask that never took the mask off.
Yeah.
Like, it'll work. They also own the movie rights to Friday the 13th, but nobody owns Jason, so they can't add him. Everybody and nobody owns Jason.
I feel like Jason is where they might finally draw the line on multiple. Well, no. Like, the fact that they've added Rick and Arya to what is ostensibly a kid's game, I'm almost inclined to say, fuck it. Yeah, they probably would add Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. But
the kids know who Jason Voorhees is.
Yeah, and like, instead of blood, they just sweat white.
Yeah. Well, they probably just wouldn't have blood altogether. He hits them with his machete, but it's like he hit him with a fucking club, right?
Yeah.
Bonk.
Oh, let's see.
You want to know horror characters they could not put in, no matter under any circumstance? They could not put in Pinhead, no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if you remove all the blood and gore, yeah, that you still can't put Pinhead in.
Yeah. There are some interesting ideas that could arise from these that I don't know how they would handle, but I would like to see them tackle. Like, apparently they own Final Destination, and I don't fucking know how that would work in a fighting game, but I want to know.
Yeah, we joke about that getting added to Dead by Daylight all the time. Unfortunate circumstances, the killer.
Yeah. I mean that would be
trying to get a pallet and concusses himself.
Yeah, you power up the generator, but it blows up like in your face and you die. That would be fucking great. And then the from the killer's side, it's an RTS where they have cooldowns where they can put the bad juju on the stuff.
Yeah,
that would work.
Yeah, put it on ledges that are higher than like a 1-story level, and your character will do a flip while falling and land on their neck.
Yeah. Well, let's see. They also own a Nightmare on Elm Street, apparently. So.
Oh, Freddy would be highly inappropriate to put in a kid's game, but I'd love it.
I mean, Freddy would be highly inappropriate. Would that stop them, though? That's the better question.
You're right. Because Pinhead, like, just immediately visually, Pinhead is about BDSM. It's every single element of his character. You can't avoid it. But with Freddy, you don't have to directly acknowledge he's a pedophile.
Yeah. You know, I really like how...
if they did add Jason or Freddy, I feel like they'd have to add them together, right?
Yeah. They're also the amalgam character. They're trying to choke each other out.
Yeah, it's like Tom and Jerry, but... Oh, that'd be amazing. Like, the other characters just happen to get in the way during Freddy and Jason. You get hit by the crossfire.
Yeah. I like how I'm looking through this list of shit that they own, and one of them says Dirty Harry. I don't know that franchise, so my brain was like, yeah, Harry Potter. What?
You do. You know what it is.
I mean, I may have seen it, but I don't remember.
It is the Clint Eastwood movie where he has the guy at gunpoint. Are you lucky, punk? Or are you feeling lucky, punk?
Is that the one with the vacuum gun?
I have no idea what that is, so let's say yes.
All right, cool. I still haven't seen that movie. I've only seen excerpts. But yeah, I mean, like there was a vacuum cleaner converted into a gun. But yeah, anyway, so apparently, oh yeah, the thing I wanted to say about that is that like I read that and my brain was like Harry Potter. So yeah, Dirty Harry Potter. Why not?
I'm pretty sure there's some fanfics you can read about that online.
Yeah, My Immortal. Go read My Immortal. But yeah.
Don't.
For other stuff that they own, you have stuff like, let's see, Fear. They could add the girl from Fear. They just have her be the stand-in for Sadako. Pretty much.
What?
That's all she ever was.
If they added her and Freddy, that'd be 2 rapists in the game.
Yeah.
Big whoops there.
Yeah. Apparently they don't own the IP, but they own the rights to the video game of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Video game rights are probably enough that they could put Willy Wonka into the game.
Yeah, similarly, they apparently do own the video game rights to Harry Potter, so they could put in Dirty Harry Potter. Oh, and they also own Blood. I don't know.
Oh,
bless you. Is that the old boomer shooter? Blood.
Might be.
I guess I can check. Yes, share version MS DOS. Yes, it's the old boomer shooter at Blood, I think. Yes, for first person shooter.
Where you play like the private investigator fighting cultists?
I think so. I guess I'll open it up and check. Meanwhile, they also own the rights to Scribblenauts. So
that would be a fun addition.
Yeah, that could work. Yes, it's the one you're thinking of. That's the one that they own. Blood.
All right, throw him in there.
Yeah. Let's see other stuff that they own. Ace Ventura probably can't work. but But the side special being bursted out of our fucking fake Rhinoceros' ass would be interesting.
Him versus Austin Powers.
Yes. The Exorcist.
That would not work, but it would be deeply amusing if they added the priest as a character.
Yeah.
And everyone else, all the other characters are demons that need to be exorcised.
Yeah. They could apparently add in Harrison Ford. Well, not directly, but they could add in his character from Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, I don't know that would necessarily fit, but then again, this is Multiversus we're talking about, so they might just totally add him in for giggles.
Yeah. All right. Apparently, they own Police Academy, so they need what they need to do is they need to add in Leslie Nielsen. Just shoot Leslie Nielsen.
It's Frank Drebin. Oh my God! Could you imagine a three-way battle between Ace Ventura, Austin Powers, and Frank Drebin?
Yeah, that would be great.
They all lose, but we win.
Yeah. Oh no, they do own Willy Wonka, apparently. They also own.
All right.
They also own Mad Max and The Matrix.
So, Max. Okay, you can guarantee that Neo and Mad Max are both going to get put in the game at some point.
Yes. All right, here's one that would be a big pull, but I would like it. Duck Dodgers. Just a Green Lantern Daffy Duck. Fuck you. Oh, let's see. They could add in the Gremlins, apparently. They could add in the dragon from Neverending Story. Yeah, there's a lot of possibility.
For just delightfully stupid stuff.
Yeah, but really okay, this would be a weird double dip, but apparently they do own. Well, okay, they did own the rights. I don't know. I think Nickelodeon bought the rights to the IP outright, but I don't remember, which is why I'm bringing this up. But apparently they own the rights to the TMNT films.
Ooh.
So imagine if the TMNT very in both fucking the Nickelodeon fighting game and in this one. And this time they can, and this time they won't forget to leave out fucking Donatello and Raphael.
Huh.
Are you still here?
Yes, I am.
All right.
I was just caught up a little bit.
So yeah, there is a wide variety of people that we can pull from, pretty much, with this shit.
Yeah.
Or well, they can pull from, but really it depends on licensing rights, just overall rights. So basically, what we're saying is that if Ace Ventura, Austin Powers, and fucking I forgot the character's name already. You cut out.
Frank Drebin.
Yeah, him. If they're not in a launch week, then we won't play the game.
Okay. Let's say So, I would main Austin Powers. Would you main Frank Drebin?
Yeah, sure.
Soon wants Godzilla. What character do you think would really just sell Pink on the game?
I don't know. I mean, if they want to sell me on the game, then I would fucking like. Oh, I said someone. I forget who it was. Oh yeah, Courage. Courage is the character to sell me. Like if they add him, that's when I'm getting interested.
Oh no, I'm just dead. Okay.
No, I can hear you.
Oh.
So did we get disconnected for a second there?
I guess so, because I didn't hear who you said Pink would love to see in the game.
Oh, I said that I wouldn't necessarily go for Frank. I would go for Courage more. But for Pink, let's see. I don't.
There's got to be a character from DC that'd make him pop.
Yeah. I don't know, cause
Starfire.
No, that's a Brandon character. Like
Pink's pretty big on Starfire too. I think he played her pretty well exclusively in Injustice for a while.
Ah. Then yeah, maybe Starfire.
Everyone likes Starfire.
Yeah. I don't know.
Brandon's the only one who gets his dick out for her.
Yeah. But like when discussing that stuff comes up with Pink, he usually just tells me that he doesn't like DC. So I don't know what DC character they could add to pop him.
Yeah. He likes plenty of DC characters. He just doesn't like Batman. And for the most part, DC focuses on Batman. So
yeah.
I mean, honestly, one thing I'm very happy about seeing with Multiversus is that it's the first fucking adaptation in a decade to have Superman there, and Superman isn't evil.
Yeah, but that's because they're licensing at Omni-Man.
Oh my god, you want to talk about characters who could not work in a kid's setting? The entire appeal of Omni-Man is that not only is he evil Superman, but he murders people in the most brutal ways possible. He could not work in a kid's game.
Wait a second.
That scene where he squishes the Flash's head.
W.
What?
I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers owns the Western distribution rights to JoJo.
Ooh.
Jotaro.
Ooh.
Like I'm not even calling for the guys I like. Jotaro is pretty much guaranteed that if they can twist it that way, then they will at Jotaro.
Well, here's the thing, right? They're going mostly for the memes with a lot of this stuff. And there is one character in JoJo who memes above all else.
Kakyoin.
Who is memed above all else. Dio.
Oh yeah, you're right. And I can already see his reveal trailer. They're gonna show off like some like minor character from whatever random cartoon nobody remembers, and then they will get like impaled or something, and then he'll just say, "You thought it was this character, but it was me, Dio."
Yeah, and they actually get the voice actor from the anime.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I would pop for Dio.
Oh, you know who's one character that would be such a weird pick in some ways, but I'd still like really want to see him?
Yeah.
Just because he's like, really? That guy? Sauron.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would make no sense for Sauron to be the second one they pick out of Lord of the Rings. But fuck it, I want Sauron. Or Tom Bombadil, he works too.
Yeah. He wasn't in the movies, but he's gonna be here.
Yeah. Tom Bombadil is the only character in Lord of the Rings who is powerful enough to just outright resist the ring.
What's your self-insert?
Tom Bombadil versus Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Who wins?
Yes. You know, I kind of still want the second character from the Lord of the Rings world to be fucking Talion. No one expects it. No one. I'd be pissed if it happened.
It and no one wants it.
Yeah. Like nobody would be happy, not even me. But that's kind of why I want it.
Like, if we want to just add all the lame shit characters from every universe, like, we could go down the line for a while.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we've said Scrappy before, but, like, from Mortal Kombat, who would be the lamest one from Mortal Kombat? Suhao, there we go.
Yeah, Suhao. I feel like it would be really funny if instead of Mortal Kombat, Mocap gets added to this game.
Yeah. From DC, guys, we got Crazy Quilt.
Who?
Crazy Quilt.
I just straight up never heard of them.
Give me a second. Crazy Quilt off the, let's see, on Wikipedia. Okay, and let's just take the. There we go. I'll put them in general text. Crazy Quilt has a helmet. He wears a multicolored quilt for an outfit. He has a helmet that allows him to hypnotize his victims using flashing lights of various colors.
Ah,
It also blinding lights and functions as artificial eyes since his own eyes no longer function.
so is his superpower epileptic seizures?
Yes.
I see. Then can one of the characters in Multiversus just be the Super Soldier Porygon episode from Pokemon?
Yeah. Hang on, let me get one of his more interesting designs. Ah, here he is. Let me just go ahead and copy it. That's drawn. It's even drawn by Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby once sat down and drew Crazy Quilt. Look upon them.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
It was the 70s, baby.
I feel like that's not really an excuse. Not in this case. There's not enough LSD in America to make this make sense. Boy. So yeah, that's an outfit.
I'm just like looking at everything they got on Google Images for him, and I'm delighted.
The third one looks relatively recent, and I don't like that.
I think that's pretty recent. I think that's probably from Rebirth.
Then I would have seen it. What?
They also introduced a female Crazy Quilt. Crazy Quilt 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Epileptic Boogaloo.
See,
Boy.
like, I think there's a lot of charm to cheesy Silver Age villains, but there are some like Crazy Quilt that like are better off relegated to the joke villain category.
Yeah. Oh shit. So yeah, Multiversus is shaping up to be interesting, potentially. We don't know yet. We need to see gameplay, which, once again, will probably be at EVO. So yeah.
Yeah. I think with that, we could probably pretty well call it a podcast.
But I do
podcast will be called.
I do have two shorter
to talk
stuff
about, so let's talk about Multiverse.
Yeah, we do have a couple of shorter ones. I didn't think that would go that long to begin with, but still, we do have a couple of shorter ones that I found during the break. So, one of them is someone brought up the idea of color-coded hit effects for frame advantage, and discussing the idea. Yeah,
is that not something that Fantasy or what was it? Fantasy Strike does, right?
I think so. Let me check if they. Yes, that is the thing that Fantasy Strike does. Did he die?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Okay,
I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got caught up looking at a post on the forum.
But yeah, it is a thing that Fantasy Strike does. Color coded hit sparks for frame advantage, or figuring that out.
That I think that is a pretty smart way of doing things, as long as they do it in a way that doesn't look ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it could work. But like, for like I know this may be like an unpopular opinion, but I rather not get the information if otherwise it would make the game look like it's like a clown show.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it has to not look hideous, but I think that just takes like a basic visual designer to take a look at, you know?
Yeah, but otherwise, I think it could work. I think, like, for those people who can actually make sense of that stuff, it could be
Yeah.
really useful. So yeah, good short topic. I chose right. Then the other one is other kind of meandering one, I guess. But someone asked, what would you want to see from a Street Fighter Cross Tekken Definitive Edition remaster for modern consoles? Now they do have they do have rules about what they want to hear, but considering that we're not really replying to their question, or we are directly replying to it, but instead putting our own spin, I think just following the thing of rollback is already in is a good idea.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Rollback is the obvious first one.
Yeah.
Get rid of the gem system, or make it where the gem system is only available in casual mode. Just throw in all of the background stages from Street Fighter 4, because they did the inverse before. They took all the background stages from Street Fighter Cross Tekken and put them in Street Fighter 4, so let's just do the opposite.
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably some light rebalancing would be nice. Particularly, I believe there are a couple functions in the game that serve no purpose. The thing is, if Street Fighter Cross Tekken was more of a beloved classic game, I think there'd be more of an idea of don't bother balancing it. If they ever release a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 remaster, they shouldn't rebalance it. Or if they do, it should be a separate release. Because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 being horribly imbalanced is part of its charm, you know?
Yeah. And then for my part, really, it's just, like, the thing, here's the thing. They're calling it a definitive edition. And considering it's been so long after the game, I would assume that they would put in, like, additional content, since the game's been out, or the basic version of the game has been out for so long, and you need to entice people to not just look at reviews of the old game and go, hey, it's the same thing, so it's gonna suck.
Well, if they just want to add content, the trouble is I can't see them ever devoting the actual development team power to making new characters outright. So if they're like, well, we need to throw in more content, they'd probably just include more characters from Street Fighter 4, if they can at all. I don't even remember if the entire Street Fighter 4 roster was in the game already.
Yeah. Like, my thing is just basically, I want Lee Shaolin. That's it. Like, aside from the more obvious stuff that you already brought up about the basic gameplay stuff, I kind of feel like we could have used fucking another proper Tekken character over fucking Pac-Man.
Well, that's part of the issue with Street Fighter Cross Tekken, was that for someone either on the marketing team or someone at Namco in general just generally lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
I can't see Lee Chaolon or any new Tekken characters getting added at the end of the day, though, because that would require them to actually go in and make entirely new model, entirely new animations, and so on, right?
I mean, that is true, but at the same time, let's examine what we're talking about. Like, realistically speaking, they're not adding any characters. But realistically speaking, they're also not making this remaster. So,
Yeah.
So it's a thing of, like, if we want to push the boundaries of what is believable, then they could make a character or two to make this the proper definitive edition. I mean, a character or two for both sides respectively.
Yeah.
To make this the proper definitive edition, and then actually, like, release it like that, because in this hypothetical they care, and, like, they want to make this be a good product and shit. At the same time, realistically speaking, they're not gonna fucking bother putting money towards making this a real thing, because the original release did horrible and has a bad name just in general, or it has it's kind of infamous for a lot of things, and as such they would probably want to bury it more than anything.
Yeah. Like, I think right now, there's absolutely no interest in continuing that partnership at all because it's been made clear. Harada has repeatedly said they have no fucking interest in doing Tekken Cross Street Fighter until Tekken stops making money solo.
Well, that's not entirely true. But it's one of those things where like sometimes you have to look at what Harada says and just see it as Harada is simultaneously sometimes, or like talking. Harada sometimes does this thing where he says what the company thinks, and then he says what he personally thinks, and he says them very close by to one another. So sometimes you need to separate them yourself. For this is what the company says, and this is what I think or I feel.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like the company of Bemco couldn't give less of a shit about Tekken Cross Street Fighter anymore because Street Fighter Cross Tekken did bad, and regardless of what Harada says right now, they won't even consider it until Tekken stops making money. Harada himself wants to make just any crossover fighting games, from what I understand of what he's said in the past, like I don't know, half a year. Like he wants to make Tekken Cross Street Fighter. He wants to make he wants to make an official Mugen, pretty much. He's brought that up recently, relatively recently, and stuff like that. But then at the same time, he understands that for one, rights are an issue, and for another, getting companies interested in getting that thing is also an issue. And so while he wants to make Tekken Cross Street Fighter be a thing, and they're technically keeping it alive to lead him on, more or less, it's not getting worked on because Bemco doesn't see money in it anymore, or at least not right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then speaking of licensing issues, I guess, and I also guess that we can close the podcast out with this topic. PlayStation revealed their lineup, the launch lineup for their new PS Plus, which includes a fighting game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of exciting stuff, but no, I don't remember there being any fighting games at all.
There is at least one. I remember at least one, and it's not the one you're thinking of. So they have a video game that defined the PlayStation, a fighting game that defined the PlayStation, or at least one in that franchise, and even made people buy PlayStations. But it's not the one you're thinking of, because you see, Gone exists, so it's Tekken 2 instead. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yes, I do remember seeing that and thinking, oh, not Tekken 3? Weird. But at the time, Gone did not occur to me, and you are absolutely right.
Yeah,
because Bamco is not going to bother petitioning for the rights to Gone, because they don't give a shit, and the guys who are the rights holders for Gone, by this point, probably want to charge an arm and a leg just because they can.
Yeah, and like, it's one of those things where like I know it's probably not a possibility because they would have dumped that stuff, but I kind of wish that they kept the source code for Tekken 3 around, just so they could just dump the Gone stuff out from the game.
They didn't start doing that in Japan until like the late 2000s. So
yeah, I know.
That always cracks me up that Kingdom Hearts 1 had to be fundamentally rebuilt from the ground up for the 1.5 and 1.8 and whatever remasters, because they just dumped the game as soon as it shipped.
Huh. Oh boy. But yeah, aside from that, we could also discuss the potential other fighting games, because they did say that they're going to update it like in the middle of every month and stuff. But here's the reason I'm bringing this up. So MVC2 is pretty much like deconfirmed, because think about the amount of hoops that you would need to jump through to get MVC2 on this sort of thing. And
if MVC2 is going to happen, which there's been rumors that Disney and Capcom have been in talks for about a year now, if MVC2 is going to happen, it's going to be not via any like program like this. It's going to be they announce a Marvel vs. Capcom collection.
Yeah.
Which I will be buying the Darkstalkers collection next month, so I guess I'm here for it, but And it is the Darkstalkers collection. I know it features 5 other Capcom games. Well, I'll play Red Earth and I'll play Cyberbots, but other than that, it's the Darkstalkers collection.
No, you're wrong. It's the Puzzle Fighter collection.
Oh, how could I forget? Fuck me. Anyways.
So yeah.
In terms of other stuff off the PS1, I mean, like,
well, we don't need to limit it to the PS1 though, because technically speaking, they could add PS anything games to it.
That is true. Yeah, there's PS1 and PS2 and PS3.
Oh, actually,
PS3
speaking of that, I'm actually wrong. There's at least 2 fighting games in that thing, because there's Tekken 2. There's also MK11. So there you go.
That is true. That is true. But what was I going to say? Right. Virtua Fighter never got put on PlayStation 1, right? Those would have gone on Sega's console.
Yeah.
So the first Virtua Fighter to go on a Sony console would have been Virtua Fighter 4, right?
I think so.
But in terms of PS1 fighting games, like one that I'm surprised I didn't see. Well, it's aged badly, but it is still considered an important fighting game in PlayStation history. Is Battle Arena Toshinden? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I've played that. Yes.
It's stinky, isn't it?
Very. Like, Battle Arena Toshinden is a game that you go back to and play when you don't appreciate Soul Calibur.
Yeah. It's wacky. The Battle Arena Toshinden sold so many PS1s in hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, if anybody can get Konami off their pasty white asses, then there's Bloody Roar.
Yeah, and I mean Konami are already working with the subscription system as well, because they put a Castlevania Lords of Shadows 2 on it, the Stinky Hole.
Yeah, that's true.
The Stinky Hole is on the service, so so that means that there's a possibility for Metal Gear, Silent Hill, and for fighting is Bloody Roar. So, you know.
But if we're just keeping with like the fighting games that are relevant, of course, in terms of like fighting games that are considered bad or mediocre in hindsight, there's loads. Because there's Maximum Impact, there's Street Fighter EX, there's all that shit.
Yeah, I can see EX or fucking CVS 2. That's the bummer to me, is that I can see.
Well,
yeah.
The issue with both of those is that Capcom's general pattern is to make remasters themselves and sell it on all platforms, rather than just letting Sony do their shit.
Well, that, and also like even if like Capcom wasn't in talks for that stuff, and like if they were like, well, I don't give a shit about, whatever, just put it on. They don't just need to go to Capcom. They need to go to Capcom, and they also need to go to Arika or SNK.
Well, they cooperated enough with SNK to release the mobile version of CVS 1.
That is true, and recently there was the crossover skins with Vexel.
And yeah, I was actually just about to say they've been cooperating with Arika to add the Vexel skins. Yeah, like Capcom's been pretty cooperation heavy lately. Like, I think right now Capcom is just in the testing phase for, let's see if people want to see this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Is there really a consumer base for CVS 2? Is there really a consumer base for MVC 2? Is there really a consumer base for Street Fighter EX? Which, of course, part of the classic problem always is, well, in some of these cases, like, I really want CVS 2. I don't really have any interest in the mobile version of CVS 1.
Yeah.
So, even though I would absolutely buy a CVS 2 remaster, I am not going to be part of the crowd that confirms to Capcom that it's a possibility.
Yeah, and then with some of that stuff, it's also like sometimes you just can't confirm, because like I would have bought the anniversary release of Sengoku Basara 4 if I didn't buy the normal release a month before it got announced.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then similarly, I can't confirm to them that I want Basara Cross to be ported because they want port Basara Cross. That's a bit of a fucking what's the word? I'm forgetting the name. A paradox. I can't tell them that I would give them money for this shitty game because they won't allow me to buy the shitty game. But
Well,
yeah,
clearly it's your fault.
yes. Maybe I should just like mail in a fucking like a $20 note to Capcom Japan. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
count this towards Persona Cross.
I was about to say, it's one of those funny situations. I'd rather they didn't test the waters with a regular game. Just put up a fucking Kickstarter.
Yeah.
All right. I believe we could probably go ahead and call that a fighting games war.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Confusion.
Pandemonium.
Fighting games were.
Discombobulation.
Fighting games were at once.
Oh.